We're going to react to the producer's letter real quick. It's a producer's letter from Renania. Great name. I don't know how to say it. But the producer's letter is really, really important because this is something that I've made a lot of videos about. I made a lot of videos about this idea that the beginning of September is going to be massive for LOTRO. And that if they have, if they're smart, which I know they are, that they are going to have to do something big in September and right before September, because there's going to be a massive influx of players, right? And so this is the producer letter that actually covers September. And when I first started reading this, I was really discouraged, but then I got really encouraged. And I want to show you guys why, okay? So let's start reading through this, okay? It says this. It says, Megavon and everyone, another quarter has flown by. As you can read my March letter, this time we're talking about what will happen from July to September. So July, August, September. So this is actually going through the end of September. So it's very important for us, especially for those of us that are interested in seeing if LOTRO has a big future with Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power coming out, right? Because like I said in my video, regardless of whether or not Rings of Power is good or bad, it's still going to be good for LOTRO. Because it's either going to be great and people are going to go, I want more of this, let's go play LOTRO, or it's going to be awful and people are going to go, I need some real Lord of the Rings. And of course, LOTRO does a great job with that. Sorry about that. And so let's go ahead and jump through this, okay? So coming soon and quickly is 33.1, expected to arrive in late July, and it comes with new further adventures, this time following Elladan and Elrohir, and I am so excited about this. The Bilbo quest was one of the best quests that I've ever played in any MMO, and it was in the further adventures category, and this makes me excited. It says this: soon after Frodo's rescue in the Fort of Bruinen, the scouts of Rivendell venture forth, seeking news on the enemy and his servants, okay? And this is really, really cool. So Lord Elrond has given his sons Elladan and Elrohir a secret errand. So we're going to join the twins on their journey from Rivendell to the distant land of Lothlorien. And that makes me really excited. And I think this is a perfect thing because I think a lot of people think about it. Galadriel is going to be in the Rings of Power, and Lothlorien is where she lives. And I'm thinking that they're putting this in at this time because they're going to give people another way to visit Lothlorien from a low level. Because you can do these quests, I think, at any time, I'm pretty sure. And so I think it's going to be really cool to have that. But I'm excited for another further adventures. I'm going to play this as soon as it comes out because I'm pumped about this, okay? Now, as we continue, so that's a big positive. Like, that was a big thumbs up, okay? Now, it says this: around the same time, we'll also see the return of the Treasure Buggin event. Folks who experienced it last year may be familiar, but those of you who are new will hopefully have a delightful time trying to catch the rascal and claim its treasure. I didn't do this last year. I'm very excited to try it. It's going to be a great time. And then we're also going to have the Farmers Fair. And then we're going to be bidding farewell to the first legendary world of Anor, encouraging players there to say their goodbyes. I think that the reason this is happening, and it sounds like they've announced this for a while, is that this server is just pretty much dead. So they've got to get rid of it because you wouldn't want a new player jumping onto a dead server. It is a sad thing, especially for those that found their home in Anor. I would be very sad if Arkenstone shut down. So a lot of sympathy to them, but I really love that they're offering free transfers from Anor to any of the live worlds, which is great because there are other legendary servers. There's Treebeard, there's Shadowfax. So I hope that the players from Anor can have a good experience with that one, okay? But here's where this gets really interesting. And this is where I put my conspiracy theory hat on, and nobody was talking about this until I pointed it out on Twitter, and I'm really excited about it. What is up, Maru? Welcome to the stream. It says this: we have one more exciting surprise for the summer, but we'll keep that close to the vest for now. Keep an eye out for the next few months. And here's what I said about this, okay? So what I said was, and I think that this is true, is it says, let me see where I responded to it. Yeah, right here. It says that in the producer's letter that they have a surprise for us. But I said, I've been saying that since early September would be a perfect time to release a graphical update and server space increase. That alone isn't enough, but the quote is super interesting. Could the announcement for the server stability be coming soon? And then if we go on to the actual tweet, I wrote this down here. I said, my bet is either server upgrades or a graphical refresh. Those two are big enough for their own announcement and right around the Rings of Power player boost in September. I think this is going to happen. And here's why I think this. I think that they know how much this is going to bring. This is going to bring an incredible influx of players. And so I do want to see them do this. I want them to come out with an announcement that says, we are increasing our server space. We've translated over our servers. And let me turn on my little copium hat real quick. I want to turn on my conspiracy copium hat real quick. And I want to address this because this happened last week. And for an entire week, players could not create accounts, okay? Their account creation was temporarily completely unavailable. And it just says this: game account creation and access to my account is once again available. Thank you for your patience while we resolved, and here it is. Let's put these hats on. Let's dive in. Resolved an infrastructure issue this week. I think this is my thought, is that they are beginning to migrate every system over to a new server space, whether it be a server farm or, and this is a big thing, especially for my EU players. A lot of them struggle with this game because the lag is so bad on EU. Here's what I think. I think that they could have even just bought an EU server farm in Europe, and they were transferring the character creation servers for the EU side over to the EU. That's what I think is happening. That is my honest to goodness thought. I think that that's the truth, okay? So again, I don't know if that's true, but my thought was when I saw this, I just went, how did this happen? Because there weren't any major releases, there weren't any big updates, they didn't do anything massive outside of just regular hot fixes. How could this have happened? I think, you guys, that this is PR speak. Again, I'm going hopium. I'm going full hopium helium here, but I really do think that this is just PR speak for the idea that they've now started to transfer things over. And my guess is, if I had to bet, my guess is that the thing that they're saying in the letter that they're keeping close to the vest for now, I think that they're going to come out and say, hey, listen, we are about to transfer everything. We have everything ready to transfer this over to new servers. We're going to have to take the servers down for 2 or 3 days to make this happen. That would be such an exciting surprise because it would solve the lag. It would give them the opportunity, if they've rebuilt the client engine on the back end, which is what EG7 said that they were going to have to do in order to make this happen. If they did that, then they could transfer everything over and take a couple days to do it. I think it's true. I'd love to get your guys' opinion. What do you think? Whether you're watching this on Twitch, in the comments below on YouTube, what do you think in the Twitch chat? Do you think that I'm right, or could I be completely wrong? But the devs have said in over 10 interviews that the graphic update will never happen. I don't think that and I think that, Obi, that's a good point. But I think that what they're saying, and that is they're not going to do a big graphical overhaul. They're not going to make this World of Warcraft. And I think a lot of people are nervous about that. I've actually spoken about this a few times on YouTube before, where what I've said is, hey, I think a graphical update would be great. People get very, very, very angry. People get very, very, very angry because they don't want to lose their game. They don't want to lose, honestly, how beautiful this looks. I mean, this looks incredible. Why would you ever want to lose this? I think that the graphical updates that I'm talking about are more on like the player face models. I think that if they could update this a little bit, make the hair a little bit better, things like that, you could make the mobs look a little bit more engaging. I mean, let's just take a look at this guy here. I mean, the textures just aren't really that great, are they? I'm playing on Ultra settings, and the textures, they're just fine. They're not like, there's nothing about this texture that makes me go, wow, this is beautiful, you know? And I think that they could update little things like that, maybe even the rocks, the draw distance on these mountains, and it would just make a great difference. Again, I don't think that they're ever going to, I don't think they're going to overhaul the graphics. I think that they're going to do a graphical refresh. I think they're just going to add a couple of things. And if they did a server change, I think that that would be a really good thing. So again, that's my thought. I don't know if I'm right. I could be totally wrong. But it says this would be so good coming from an EU man. I think especially for the EU. I think the EU really needs something like this, right? And Untamer says if that's true, it'd be so amazing. I hope so. WoW looks even worse. No one bothers complaining. I don't know, Box. I think that WoW looks, you know, if you go back to vanilla WoW to now, it's got a little bit more decent graphics. That's my thought. I know it's out of date, but I don't think the graphics really an issue with the player base. 15 years of minimalist free-to-play model and lack of advertising has done worse for the game than its graphics. Yeah, you're right, Mari. Like, I think that there are a lot of other things that they should address, but I do think that there are things like draw distance that I'd like to see get better. But that's just me. Again, I think up close hills could get a change. I try LOTRO, but I always leave because of the graphics. I think there's a lot of people like you, Obi, in that one, you know? Box says the engine doesn't need to be changed. Models just need upgraded geometry. Decent isn't good looking, to be honest. Yeah, and again, I hope so. I think all of this could be a thing, and I don't think it would be a bad thing. Again, they should not go overboard and change the DNA of the game. But what they should do is say we need to expect a lot of people to come on. A lot of people are going to jump in. And we need to expect that. That's going to happen, and we need that to happen. And so let's come in with some expectation of that happening. That would be really good. Okay, so here's another thing, and so that's that. And again, there's my big theory, and I'm gonna leave it there. You can call me wrong in 3 months if I'm wrong, but I hope I'm right. I think I'm right. But there's more to this producer's letter that I want to react to. Okay, we made some huge changes to the Lord of the Rings Online this year, starting in February with Rangers and Ruins, which brought the premium wallet, gold currency cap, and virtue, race, and class trait slots being free to all players. Huge. They're moving away from a little bit of the predatory model that they used to have, that used to keep people out. And then in April, this is massive. And I love that they're bragging about this because I think they deserve to. This was a very risky move for them, by the way. And we need to, as players, praise the devs for what they did here, okay? Then in April, our 15th anniversary, we made a lot more things free. The Beorning, Warden, and Runekeeper, the High Elf, and all content released from 2007 through Helm's Deep. Again, we should be praising the devs for this because this is a risk. I mean, they did used to make money off of the Warden, the Runekeeper, High Elf unlocks. They used to make money off of Helm's Deep, Lothlorien, Moria. Now, I don't think it was good because you would get to level 50, or you'd even start to think about playing the game beyond where you were. You'd think about playing the game beyond where you were and beyond the first expansion. It costs so much money. I think I did the math one time and I was like, I'm gonna have to pay like $250 to play this game to end game or something like that at one point. I think it was somewhere around there, and that's crazy. Even if it's more than $100, right? I just think that's nuts. And so I'm really proud of them for that. I'm really proud of them for that. And while the changes we're planning next aren't quite so momentous, hey Green River, thanks for the follow, appreciate it. Welcome to the squad. While the changes we're planning next aren't quite so momentous, we think that they'll excite players nonetheless. Starting with 33.2, which is planned for September. Again, Amazon release. They're thinking about it. I know they're thinking about it. We'll expand which classes are available to new races. Dwarves and stout axes will now be able to be captains and wardens. Now that would make sense, okay? That would make sense. Elves and high elves burglars, which again makes sense-ish. And then hobbits, lore masters, and champions. I don't know about that. Now this is just me. Now somebody had a great response to this on Twitter actually, and I want to make sure that I do it justice. On Twitter, in the response to this, it was a perfect tweet, and I wanted to read this to you guys and get your thoughts on it. Let me see, because I don't want to steal their thunder. Yeah, the big Dunadic energy, if you will. Very appropriate. Well, honestly, I appreciate opening up the classes for more races. I actually like that limitation lore-wise. It makes sense and doesn't feel as immersion breaking. I get wanting to cater to us, but I do feel like there should be some hard lines to draw. And I'm not quite so that far on, because I do think, I do like the idea of more player freedom, and I like some of these changes. The only one that I had a hard time with, and just let me know what you guys think on this one, is the Hobbit Lore Master. I think the Hobbit Lore Master is a little bit strange, primarily because when you think about the races that the Hobbits can play champions, they can play guardian, or no, they can't play champions. They can play guardians, they can play wardens, of course, and that makes sense with the past of the Hobbits, the bull roar and stuff like that. I don't know if I would agree that the Hobbits were lore masters. The only possible one that I could think of is maybe Bilbo. I just thought from a lore perspective, I didn't love that. But again, and Hobbit Champion, yeah, Box says, Hobbit Champions make even less sense. I don't know, two-sword hobbits, again, I can see in the history of the hobbits, the bull roarer, that's hard for me to say as an American, and the bull roarer, it's easier to say in a British accent, the bull roarer. The bull roarer he's this hobbit that leads the hobbits to battle, defeats the great goblin, and it's a really cool scene. I just don't really know if I love the hobbit changes. I do kind of like the limitations. Just a little bit from a lore perspective, but again, that's just a me thing. Could I put the link of what you're on to the chat? Yeah. This is the dev letter. Thank you, Untamer. Good question. So yeah, I'm interested in this one. I think that again, the humans, rune keepers make sense. Rune keepers aren't really in the books. I really like that dwarves can become captains. This one makes a lot of sense to me, especially when you think about how how warlike the dwarves were and how leadership the dwarves were. I really like that. So I do enjoy that change, and I hope that I like that. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that they should make every race just available for every class? I don't know if I love it. I like the idea of like kind of holding some things back lore-wise, but that's just me. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts there. Okay, so if you ever wish to play as a dwarf captain, a hobbit lore master, no, or any of the new combinations above, you'll have your chance in September. The legendary world of Shadowfax will continue its quick progression, this time to Far Anorian in the Wastes, with the level cap increased to 105 on August 31st. Finally, the legendary world of Anor will be closing down its excellent run on August 31st. We'll have more to talk about with legendary worlds in my next letter. Interesting. More to talk about with Legendary Worlds. I'm interested. We'll see what happens maybe to Treebeard. And as always, we're continuing our ongoing work to improve. Look at it, you guys. Game performance, refine each class experience, bugs, and refine the new Legendary item system. Come on, man. Come on. Game improvement, please. I love it, man. And check, guys, they're just telling us. I'm so right. I promise you. I am so confident. Look at this. 22-2 has been an excellent year for us thanks to all of you. That's true. There have been a lot more players on this game. Our 15th anniversary year continues, and we still have big surprises in store. You guys, it's happening. I'm telling you. They are like big surprises. Come on, man. Like outside of just an expansion release, a big surprise in store, I think this is it. I really, really do. Now, the other thing that it could be, and I just want to put this out there into the universe, is it could be the new zone that's coming south of Bree that's going to replace Moria. Louis did a great video on that one. Go check out Louis7's channel. On YouTube, he did a great video about the brand new zone that's coming. So that could be good. We'll see. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting. Let's see. Untamer says, I agree. Box says, I like the limitation. Most of them make sense. Yeah, I agree with you as well. Are there any of the limitations lifting that you guys like? Do you like any of these lifted limitations, like dwarves that can be captains and wardens, elves that can be burglars? I don't really know if I like that one. Like sneaky elves, it's kind of like, I don't know, it kind of goes against like the whole like, they're these ethereal, beautiful creatures a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Hobbits can be lore masters and champions. That one I don't get, but I guess if every race is going to get a limitation release, I guess you kind of have to do it for the Hobbit players like moi. But humans, rune keepers. Yeah, it's just interesting. Yeah, Untamer says yes, but elves already have invisibility. Yeah, you're right on that one too. It's interesting. I don't know. It's interesting, right? Lethos, greetings from Germany. It's 7:16 p.m. Dude, welcome, man. Good evening to you. But anyway, hey, I am excited about this letter. I think mostly, genuinely like net positive. I think net positive on all of these things. I'm really excited about a lot of these changes. I'm very, very interested to see about the exciting surprise for the summer. I don't know, you guys, until they like say it's not gonna happen, I choose to believe that it's going to happen because I think it has to happen. It has to happen in order for them to accommodate the players. Okay, so I don't know. Thank you guys for your feedback on Twitch. Let me know for sure in the comments below as well what you guys think. But yeah, that's the producer's letter, man. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like. It's totally free to do. Subscribe if you want to see more. And as always, I'm live on Twitch over at twitch.tv/brightlifecommunity. We're a community of positive and uplifting gamers. Come find a friend to raid with, grab loot with, and just enjoy life together with. Hope you have an awesome day. Be blessed, and you are so loved and so valuable.